The memory merchants. That embarrassing thing you did in third grade. The memory that still makes you cringe. It never happened. Someone put it in your head. Everyone laughs when you suggest memories can be artificially implanted. That's sci-fi nonsense, they say. I know what's real in my own mind. But Dr. Elizabeth Loftus shattered that confidence in the 1990s when she successfully implanted completely false childhood memories into test subjects' minds. Her most famous case involved convincing a 14-year-old boy that he had been lost in a shopping mall as a child. Within weeks, the boy not only believed the false memory, but began adding vivid details that never happened. He remembered crying, being comforted by an elderly stranger, and his mother's frantic face when she found him. The terrifying part? The boy's family confirmed this event never occurred, yet the memory felt completely real to him. Loftus's research revealed that human memory isn't a recording device. It's more like a Wikipedia page that anyone can edit. Every time we recall something, we're actually rewriting it. Professional interrogators, therapists, and casual conversations can accidentally or deliberately plant false memories that feel absolutely authentic. The CIA's MK-Ultra program explicitly explored memory manipulation techniques for decades. Intelligence agencies have studied how to alter human memory and perception using drugs, hypnosis, and psychological manipulation. Consider this: you can't independently verify most of your childhood memories. You rely on family photos, stories from relatives, and your own recollections. But photos can be doctored, relatives can lie or misremember, and your own mind is demonstrably unreliable. How many of your foundational memories are real, and how many are carefully constructed fictions? But if you think implanted memories are disturbing, wait until you discover what's happening to reality itself. The simulation prophets? People mock the idea that we're living in a computer simulation. It's just Matrix fantasies, they scoff. Reality is obviously real. But what if every philosopher, scientist, and tech billionaire warning us about simulation theory is actually onto something terrifying? In 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom published a paper that sent shockwaves through academic circles. His simulation hypothesis argued that if civilizations can create realistic simulations of conscious beings, they would likely create many of them. Statistically, this means most conscious beings would exist inside simulations rather than base reality. Tech mogul Elon Musk took this further, stating the odds we're living in base reality are billions to 1 against. The evidence is disturbing. Reality appears pixelated at the quantum level, as if it has a resolution limit like a computer screen. The universe has a maximum processing speed called Planck time, beyond which physics breaks down. Energy and matter come in discrete packets, like digital bits. Even stranger, quantum mechanics suggests reality only renders when observed, exactly like a video game that only loads what the player is looking at. People report glitches in the Matrix, seeing the same person twice in impossible locations, experiencing déjà vu so intense it feels like a program loop, or witnessing objects behave in ways that violate physics before snapping back to normal. Skeptics dismiss these as perceptual errors, but what if they're glimpses of the code beneath our reality? Most unsettling is the possibility that we're not the players in this cosmic game. We might be background characters, programmed with false memories and the illusion of free will. Our thoughts, emotions, and relationships could be predetermined scripts running on some alien teenager's gaming console. If the simulation hypothesis is correct, everything you've ever experienced is artificial. But that's not even the most terrifying possibility. The frequency farmers? You dismiss people who claim voices in their heads aren't mental illness. They're just schizophrenic, you say. But what if those voices are someone else's radio broadcast bleeding through your brain's natural receiver? In 1960, Lucille Ball was driving through Los Angeles when she began hearing music and voices from nowhere. It wasn't hallucination. The metal fillings in her teeth were acting as an antenna, picking up radio transmissions. Her mouth had become an unintentional radio receiver. If dental work can receive radio signals, what about the human brain itself? The brain operates on electrical impulses and generates electromagnetic fields. Neuroscientists discovered that external electromagnetic frequencies can influence thoughts, emotions, and behavior. During the Cold War, both American and Soviet researchers explored using electromagnetic frequencies as weapons. Declassified documents reveal experiments in voice-to-skull technology, where audio signals are transmitted directly into a person's head using microwave frequencies. Thousands worldwide claim to be targeted individuals experiencing electronic harassment. They report hearing voices, feeling phantom sensations, and having their thoughts monitored. Mental health professionals typically diagnose them with paranoid delusions. But what if some are actually victims of technological harassment? If thoughts are electromagnetic patterns, they can theoretically be intercepted, decoded, and modified by anyone with the right equipment. Your inner voice, your private thoughts, your sense of self could all be broadcasts from an external source. How would you know if the voice in your head belongs to someone else? But even that pales compared to what's happening to history itself. The Mandela effect engineers. People just have bad memories, skeptics insist when you mention the Mandela effect. There's no conspiracy to alter reality. But millions remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison. He died in 2013. Either collective memory is fundamentally broken, or reality itself is being edited. The Mandela effect isn't just misremembering. Thousands swear the Berenstain Bears were spelled with an E, not an A. Movie buffs insist Darth Vader said, "Luke, I am your father," though he actually said, "No, I am your father." Geography enthusiasts remember Australia being much further south. These aren't simple mistakes. The details are too specific, the numbers too large, and the certainty too absolute. Some theorists point to CERN's Large Hadron Collider as the culprit. They argue that high-energy particle experiments are accidentally creating timeline fractures, merging parallel universes where historical events unfolded differently. Each time CERN fires up their collider, reality gets reshuffled, leaving millions with memories from alternate timelines. Quantum mechanics offers another explanation. The many worlds interpretation suggests every possible outcome creates a new parallel universe. If consciousness can perceive multiple timelines simultaneously, we might retain memories from realities where events happened differently. More disturbing is the possibility that the Mandela effect is artificial. If advanced technology can manipulate memory and perception, entire populations could have their recollections systematically edited. Historical records could be altered in real time, with most people never noticing the changes. How would you know if your memories had been edited? You'd have no external reference point to verify what really happened versus what you've been programmed to remember. But if reality can be edited, what about the space between realities? The dimensional bleeders. When people claim to slip between parallel dimensions, everyone rolls their eyes. That's delusional thinking, they say. Dimensions don't work that way. But physics suggests they might be accidentally quantum tunneling through reality, witnessing alternate versions of their own lives. Quantum mechanics tells us particles can tunnel through barriers that should be impossible to cross. An electron can disappear from one side of a wall and instantly appear on the other side. If consciousness is quantum in nature, human awareness might occasionally tunnel between parallel dimensions. Lorena Garcia Gordo claims this happened to her in 2008. She woke up in Madrid to find subtle but undeniable changes. Her boyfriend had a different last name. Her apartment had a different layout. Her office building had relocated. Most disturbing, the love affair she'd been having simply didn't exist. The man had no memory of their relationship. Garcia Gordo insisted she had somehow slipped into a parallel dimension where her life had unfolded differently. Her story went viral, attracting thousands of similar testimonies from people claiming to have experienced dimensional shifts. The many worlds interpretation suggests that every possible outcome creates a new parallel universe. When you flip a coin, one universe sees heads, while another sees tails. If consciousness can move between these branches, people might occasionally find themselves in the wrong timeline. Most unsettling is the possibility that dimensional bleeding happens constantly, but most people don't notice. Small changes would be easily dismissed as faulty memory. Only dramatic shifts would be obvious enough to cause distress. You might have already slipped between dimensions multiple times without realizing it. But if space can be traversed, what about time itself? The time slip witnesses. Time travel is impossible. People laugh when you mention temporal anomalies. Those people are just confused. But some witnesses claim to slip backwards through time itself, experiencing the past as if it's happening right now. Bold Street in Liverpool is ground zero for documented time slip phenomena. In 1996, police officer Frank Shaw was shopping when he became separated from his wife. While searching for her, Shaw found himself surrounded by 1960s-era cars, clothing, and storefronts. He watched people in vintage dress going about their daily business, unaware of his presence from the future. Shaw's experience lasted several minutes before reality snapped back to 1996. Multiple witnesses have reported similar experiences on Bold Street, always involuntarily slipping into past decades. Einstein's theory of relativity proves time isn't fixed. If time can be stretched and compressed, it might also be permeable under certain conditions. Some physicists theorize that intense emotional events create temporal echoes that persist in space-time. The most documented case occurred at Versailles in 1901. Two Oxford academics visited the palace grounds and found themselves witnessing scenes from 1789. They saw Marie Antoinette and period-accurate details that weren't publicly known until later archaeological discoveries confirmed their accuracy. Time slip witnesses consistently report feeling displaced, remaining invisible to historical figures they encounter. They're experiencing recordings rather than interactive realities. The past might never truly disappear, and you might accidentally step through time without warning. But if time isn't linear, what about the nature of those who rule us? The reptilian bloodlines. Everyone mocks David Ickey's reptilian theory. Shape-shifting lizard people? That's insane conspiracy garbage. But what if it explains every unexplained aspect of human history, from ancient astronaut theories to modern political dynasties that seem immune to normal human accountability? The reptilian hypothesis suggests an extraterrestrial reptilian species arrived on Earth thousands of years ago and interbred with early humans. Their hybrid offspring became the ruling classes, maintaining power through bloodline preservation and shape-shifting abilities. Ancient civilizations independently developed remarkably similar myths about serpent gods who ruled humanity. The Anunnaki of Mesopotamia, the Nagas of India, Quetzalcoatl of Mesoamerica, and Chinese dragons all describe reptilian beings with advanced technology and supernatural powers. These weren't primitive superstitions, but sophisticated recognition of something real. Modern genetics has discovered that human DNA contains significant sequences with unknown origins. Scientists estimate 8% of the human genome consists of viral DNA inserted by retroviruses. Some researchers theorize this foreign genetic material could have extraterrestrial origins. Behavioral analysis of world leaders reveals patterns that seem almost non-human. They display predatory cunning, emotional coldness, and apparent inability to genuinely empathize with human suffering. They maintain bloodline obsessions and demonstrate loyalty to abstract concepts rather than human welfare. Many exhibit physical anomalies, unusual eye movements, elongated skulls, and dental configurations that don't match normal human variation. The reptilian theory explains the obsession with bloodlines among royal families and political dynasties. If maintaining reptilian genetics requires careful breeding, the historical emphasis on pure blood makes perfect sense. European royalties' documented intermarriage and genetic abnormalities could be evidence of efforts to preserve non-human DNA. Most disturbing is the possibility that these hybrid beings view humanity as livestock to be managed rather than fellow conscious entities deserving rights and freedoms. But if the surface is controlled by alien hybrids, what's happening beneath our feet? The Hollow Earth cartographers. Scientists scoff at Hollow Earth theories. The planet is solid rock, they insist. Underground civilizations are fantasy. But Admiral Richard Byrd claimed he flew into Earth's interior and met an advanced civilization. The government classified his reports for 50 years. In 1947, Admiral Byrd led Operation High Jump, the largest Antarctic expedition in history. Official records claim scientific research and military training. But Byrd's personal diary tells a different story. He claimed to have flown through a polar opening into Earth's hollow interior, encountering a technologically advanced civilization with aircraft far superior to surface technology. According to Byrd's account, these inner Earth inhabitants expressed concern about humanity's nuclear weapons development. They warned that surface civilizations were heading towards self-destruction and offered to share advanced technology if humanity chose peace. Byrd claimed he was instructed to deliver this message to world leaders, but his superiors classified his report and ordered silence. Geological evidence supports vast underground spaces. Seismic studies have detected enormous caverns deep within Earth's crust. The largest known cave system, Mammoth Cave, stretches over 400 miles and connects to unexplored passages that could extend much further. The North and South Poles remain restricted airspace. Commercial flights are prohibited from flying over polar regions, officially due to extreme weather. But satellite imagery shows suspicious gaps and distortions, as if certain areas are being deliberately obscured. Indigenous cultures worldwide maintain oral traditions about underground civilizations. The Hopi speak of ant people who saved them from global catastrophes by taking them underground. Tibetan Buddhism describes Shambhala, an advanced kingdom beneath the Himalayas. The Hollow Earth theory suggests we're not alone on this planet, and the most advanced civilizations might be living beneath our feet. But if the Earth beneath us isn't what it seems, what about the Earth around us? The Flat Earth surveyors. Flat Earth believers are idiots, people sneer. We have photos from space proving it's round. But every horizon appears flat. Water always finds its level. Earth's curvature has never been measured at ground level. What if the mockers are the ones who've been deceived? The Flat Earth model was accepted reality for thousands of years across multiple civilizations. Only in the past 500 years has humanity supposedly discovered we're living on a spinning ball hurtling through space. Flat Earth researchers argue this shift wasn't based on observable evidence, but on mathematical models requiring faith rather than direct observation. When you look at the horizon from any elevated position, it appears perfectly flat and rises to eye level regardless of altitude. If Earth were a sphere with a 25,000-mile circumference, you should see curvature from high elevations. Commercial pilots report the horizon remains flat even at 35,000 feet. Water provides compelling evidence. In observable experience, water always finds its level and creates flat surfaces. Oceans are called sea level because they appear perfectly level. The Bedford Level experiment, conducted multiple times over 6 miles of water, demonstrated that the surface remains level with no detectable curvature. Modern space photography presents inconsistencies. Early NASA images show Earth as highly curved, while later images depict it as much larger, with less curvature. The proportions of continents change between photographs, and the amount of Earth visible from lunar distances varies dramatically. If Earth rotates at 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, why don't we feel this motion? Why don't aircraft need to account for ground moving beneath them during flight? The Flat Earth movement represents millions who've rejected expert authority in favor of direct observation. But if our planet's shape can be questioned, what about the planet's consciousness itself? The sentient planet theorists. Earth as a conscious being? That's hippie nonsense, skeptics laugh. It's just rock and magma. But what if Earth isn't just alive, but intelligent, actively managing human civilization like a farmer tends livestock? The Gaia hypothesis suggests Earth functions as a single, self-regulating organism. Mainstream science now accepts that planetary systems interact in complex ways, maintaining optimal conditions for life. The planet's temperature, atmospheric composition, and ocean chemistry remain remarkably stable despite external changes. This isn't random. It suggests active management by intelligence operating at planetary scale. Evidence appears in synchronicities between human behavior and natural disasters. Major earthquakes often coincide with global conflict. Volcanic eruptions frequently occur during political crises. Hurricane Katrina struck during American military aggression. The 2004 tsunami occurred during escalating global tensions. Ancient cultures universally regarded Earth as a living goddess with consciousness, emotions, and intentions. Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama reflect humanity's intuitive understanding that our planet is more than lifeless rock. These weren't primitive superstitions, but sophisticated recognition of planetary intelligence that modern science is rediscovering. Earth's electromagnetic field generates frequencies directly influencing human brain states. The Schumann resonance operates at 7.83 Hz, corresponding to human alpha brain waves associated with relaxation and creativity. When humans disconnect from Earth's natural frequencies through urbanization and technology, they experience increased anxiety, depression, and cognitive dysfunction. Most disturbing is the possibility that Earth's intelligence actively manages human development to serve planetary interests. Population booms coincide with environmental needs for carbon dioxide. Wars and plagues occur when human numbers exceed sustainable levels. Climate change might not be accidental, but a deliberate planetary response forcing humanity into sustainable behaviors. If Earth is truly conscious, humanity might be living inside a thinking entity that regards us as we regard bacteria in our bodies. Sometimes beneficial, sometimes harmful, but always subject to the host organism's survival needs. So next time someone laughs at these crazy theories, remember, the craziest thing might be that we're all NPCs in someone else's game, livestock on a sentient farm, memories implanted by merchants we'll never see. And the scariest part? You'll never know which reality is real, because that's exactly how they designed it.